I think this is the second video in a row that I've started by basically saying I have no idea what to say to start this video. Is this a sign of something? Probably. Are we going to address it today? No. Hi everyone, Rosie here. Welcome back to my channel. I have sort of like two themes going on in this video. They're two things, they do go together really well, but I don't know how to start with one instead of the other. So let's start with the visual one. Yes, I am wearing new glasses. I don't know if I'm going to switch over to these entirely, but I bring it up because they are kind of integral to today's video. I was sent these by Zinth Optical to try out and review for you guys here on my channel, let you know what I think about them. I know it's a super cliche that everyone always says, especially when they first start doing things like this. I would not have said yes to this if it wasn't a product I was interested in trying. I have worn glasses for close to 20 years probably, definitely more than 15, and I wear them every single day. I have pretty high expectations for my glasses. Heard so many great things about online glasses companies, this sort of stuff, but I've always been a bit scared to try it. I don't know. I've always gotten my glasses from like an optician with the proper fitting. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I have a very small head. I wear like a children's size bike helmet. So I have a small head, I have a small face. I was always like, how am I gonna get the right prescription? Are they gonna fit well? This is the perfect chance to try them out. And I have to say, I'm really impressed. Initially, like out of the box, I love the style. They of course have so many different styles, so like no matter what you like, I'm pretty sure you'll find something interesting. Feel just as well made as my much more expensive glasses that I usually wear. So far I'm liking them. I'm going to give a more in-depth review at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that. But if you just want to buy glasses right away for whatever reason, I don't know anyone who impulse buys glasses, but like, I don't know, you do you. There is a link in the description, and also make sure to use the code Cockshutt for, I think it's 50% off frames and 10% off lenses. This video is not going to be all about glasses though, because this is still a booktube channel. It will remain a booktube channel, and we are here to talk about things bookish and book related. Today, going in the more audio direction, because I am lately obsessed with 1, audiobooks, and 2, Critical Role, which is a like web show. They did live streams, now they're pre-recorded, where a group of voice actors play Dungeons & Dragons. Probably everyone has already heard of this, but I am just recently obsessed, and it means I am spending so much time listening to things right now. I don't know why. My brain does not want to read. I haven't picked up a physical book in like almost a week, which is unheard of for me. Is it a slump? Is it an energy thing? I don't know. But right now, I just want to listen. That is how my brain wants to interact with content. So I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to listen to things. That being said, I am not a person who can just sit and listen. Maybe these people exist. Maybe these are these people who just enjoy sitting in a room and having conversation with people, and it's the same part of my brain that doesn't work for either. I cannot. I need to do something. So I've come up with a bit of a list of things that I can do while listening to audiobooks. If you've been interested in adding some audiobooks into your life, or thinking about ways you could fit audiobooks into things you're already doing, I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about. It's my channel. We're gonna talk about it. The first big category of things that I've been doing while listening is anything that is like quietly doing things with my hands, but that doesn't occupy my brain. If I sit down to just like lay out my spread for next week in my bullet journal, no. There's no way I can just sit down and focus on just that. But if I have something on in the background, it flies by. Likewise, I have a whole bunch of mending that I need to get done. Have I been doing it? No. But do I want to do it, and do I know that it would be perfect to do while listening to an audiobook? Yes. Like I said, some energy things lately, so a lot of this is stuff I would like to be doing and stuff that I know I will enjoy or that you might enjoy, but that right now has just like too much activation energy. I'm not there. Mending is something that I really would like to do more of, because I don't want to just throw things out when they get a little ripped. I want to take the time to fix things and get long use out of them. Another great option is any sort of craft project. Not craft necessarily in the sense of like cutting out construction paper and sticking it to things like we did when we were kids, although if that's something that brings you joy, you should do it. I'm thinking more of the stuff that I always think like, oh, it'd be so cool to do cross-stitching. It'd be so cool to do more knitting. It'd be cool to do more sewing. Stuff like that where there's physical hand things. It's not just looking at a screen or looking at a book, which is different from a screen, but like can have the same, oh my goodness, my eyes and hands just want to do something else feeling. Had high hopes that I would actually get around to working on some of these projects that I have been excited about for so long and that I have made zero progress on. That wasn't to be right now. I still think it would be a great option. I know lots of my friends who do lots of this sort of hobby project, I don't know what are words, really enjoy listening to audiobooks while they do it because it gives you a way of having something to keep you mentally engaged while you're doing it. This is going to be a recurring theme. Maybe this isn't my brain thing, maybe this isn't everyone's brain thing, I don't really know. Personally, I find that there's a lot of tasks where I am super able to do this and do it really well and really efficiently, but only if I have something else to pay attention to. I can be a great conversationalist, but I need to do the dishes or fold laundry or, I don't know, do something with my hands while I do this, or I cannot pay attention to what is being said to me. But the next category of things all falls into that. Stuff like doing the dishes. I love listening to an audiobook while I do the dishes because you don't need to think about the dishes. You just do them. And when you're listening to a story, it doesn't feel like it takes forever. All of a sudden, I've done the dishes and also like cleaned the kitchen because you get engaged with what you're doing and the story continues, so you want to keep doing that activity. It's also great for like any other general house chores, cleaning, mopping. We're not quite in gardening season in Canada, or we probably should be, but we just have been busy and haven't gotten started on that. You know, weeding, awful. Weeding while listening to an engaging audiobook? Amazing, wonderful way to spend time outside and make your home feel nicer. That being said, I also really enjoy listening to audiobooks while doing other activities that I just enjoy. Baking is really fun, but I find having an audiobook helps me keep on track. Any sort of task that I'm doing that has frequent points where I could pick up my phone goes so much better if I listen to something. If I listen to an audiobook, I can just put my phone down over there and I've got something that I'm paying attention to. So when there is a 30-second pause and I don't need to be actively doing anything, I can just listen for a second, as opposed to there's a 30-second pause, I pick up my phone, all of a sudden it's 30 minutes later. I also find audiobooks can be an amazing motivator to do something that I don't necessarily want to do in the moment. I know that I will feel better and be a happier person if I go for a walk every day. Do I want to go for a walk every day? Almost never. But if I have an audiobook I'm excited to listen to, I want to go out. I want to go for a walk. Then I get to do the thing that I want to do. I listen to my book. I also do this with flossing. Is it embarrassing to admit as a 27-year-old that I'm pretty much incapable of flossing my teeth unless I put a book or a video on? Maybe, but it works. When I floss without an audiobook, it feels like it takes half an hour and is the most boring thing ever. But if I put a book on, all of a sudden it just flies by and I just do it and it's not hard anymore. Finding ways that I can use audiobooks and videos and things like that in my life to do the things that I'll be glad I did but that I don't want to do has been such a unexpectedly positive addition to my day-to-day. And finally, I come to the activity that actually I've been doing about probably 80% of the time when I'm just binge listening to things, and that's doing word puzzles. I don't know why. I just am so addicted right now to word puzzles and audiobooks or audio storytelling. Because as I said at the beginning, I'm talking about audiobooks because this is a Booktube channel. Realistically, right now I'm on a Total Critical Role binge and that's what I'm listening to, but for the sake of longevity in this video on my channel, let's say audiobook. I do the Wordle every single day. I do the Quirtle every day. I haven't gotten into doing that one that has like 16 words and 21 guesses. My mom does it. She's very good at it. I haven't quite braved that one yet, but I probably will soon. I also love crossword puzzles. I do so many of those. I do not understand why, but the combo of listening to a story and doing a word puzzle is just like the most soothing and satisfying thing that I can do right now. And sometimes you've just got to lean into what feels good. If this is what is making me feel happy and content and like, wow, so nice, then that's what I'm going to keep doing. I would love for you to tell me in the comments, do you listen to audiobooks? And if so, where do they fit in your day? Are audiobooks for you a way of getting in more reading while you're doing something like commuting that you don't really want to be doing? Or is it something that you go out of your way to, this is part of my fun relaxation and I just like listening? For now, let me tell you a bit more about these glasses. I will start by saying I did have a prescription from my optometrist that I had checked only a few months ago, and I have a pretty mild prescription. I can't speak to the quality of the lenses for higher prescriptions if you need a stronger prescription. I mean, they'll probably be great. I just can't say from my experience. But for mine, it's amazing. I was initially a bit concerned. They felt a bit weird and I was going, oh no, are they off? But I think it's just that thing that you get with any new pair of glasses where when you first wear them, they feel weird. No two pair of glasses are going to be identical. Even if it's the same prescription, it can feel just a bit different. It can feel a bit weird, but after an hour or so of wearing them, I don't even notice them. I've worn them all day for several days now and no issues. They're not giving me headaches. I don't feel like I'm getting any eye strain. They feel good on my face. They're a really nice fit. I was very worried about getting the fit right, as I mentioned at the beginning, so I actually measured my existing glasses and tried to pick things that were similar and it worked out. I did also go for a wire frame with nose pads because I thought that would be more adjustable than the sort of molded plastic if it didn't fit right, but I haven't needed to do any adjustments. It just worked really well for me out of the box, so that was fantastic. I don't know if I'll switch to wearing these glasses entirely. I do still really like the look of my old glasses, but I found this was the perfect way to try a style that I otherwise probably wouldn't have tried and that I find really cool. This is a bit more okay, this is a bold shape and very different to what I usually wear, which I am never experimental with my glasses shape. Not that these are particularly out there or anything, but I always go with something that I know I'm going to like when I buy them at the opticians because they're really expensive and I need to wear them every day. My insurance only covers one pair every 2 years, so if I decide after 6 months that they're not for me, then I don't want to pay out of pocket many hundreds of dollars for another pair just because I made a bad stylistic choice. I have absolutely loved about this process is one, Zinf has so many options, as I said before, but it's really true. They have so many different styles and colors and things available for you to pick from. And two, they are, I think, for me, in order of magnitude cheaper than the ones I buy at the optician. These were sent to me for free to review, but if I had paid out of pocket, it would have cost 1/10 of what I paid for my other pair of prescription glasses. And that opens up the doors for a bit more experimentation and interest. Somewhat ooh, that's out of my normal style comfort zone frame choice. So if that's something you've been interested in, if you've been a daily glasses wearer where you wear the same pair like I do every day for years, then it's a really cool way to introduce fashion, but also practical glasses, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'll want to wear this style every day. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get really used to it and be like, wow, this is just my new thing and this is what I'm obsessed with now, because that is sort of how I am as a person. But I also kind of love the idea of having two pairs and being able to be like, oh, what do I want to wear with this outfit? That's really appealing to me. I'm a fan. And if you would like to give this a go, make sure you use the code Cockshutt for 50% off the frames and 10% off the lenses from Zinf. I need to go eat my lunch and get back to work now, so let me know down below, what do you like to do while you listen to audiobooks? And if you wear glasses, have you ever ordered from an online company and how did it go? And if you like this video, make sure you give it a like down below. If you would like to see more of my videos, make sure you hit subscribe, and thank you for watching.